myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Ends his final game with a walk-off single.
Here's a drive to left. That one is long gone.
Welcome to the Long Gone Podcast. It's me, Michael, and with me, as always, S-Man.
What up?
Steve Ford.
How's it going, man?
What's up, man?
Not a whole lot. I'm in a bit of a thaw here. We're in fake spring here in the lower peninsula. I believe we're into the low 40s, and we have some snow patches left. Spring is definitely in the air because they have shoveled off the ball diamond by my house here, so that the guys from Collegeville High School can play outside. Can't play in the outfield yet, but they were taking some infield practice I saw yesterday, so I thought that was kind of dope. And they made a nice little snowman in the outfield. So, but yeah, it's we're in faux spring here, as I think we get in the mid 50s, and then we go back down to the low 30s by the weekend. So, Michigan, right? Am I right?
Michigan. Welcome to Michigan. Allen, fucking stuff.
Yes.
Well, that means the fields are dry. Spring training is underway. Grapefruit League, all that good shit. They're happening, which players are reporting. Teams are getting better. Some teams are the same.
You
go on Lucky Rebel, you'll definitely see the Dodgers are going to be number one, and everybody else is after.
Yeah, it's the Dodgers and then the field, it feels like.
Yeah, it's the Dodgers league at this point.
Yep.
You know what I just seen before we came on, by the way?
What's that?
You know who's resigning?
Uh-oh. Who's resigning?
Tony Clark. Tony Clark's resigning.
Is this ahead of the potential strike for next? Is he going to finish out the season?
I think he wanted to get the hell out of there before it got bad. He's like,
is this effective immediately, or is he going to finish out the year?
I think he's finishing out the year.
Okay, yeah, and then getting the fuck out of Dodge, huh?
Yeah, he
doesn't want
the storm
this.
coming.
Yep,
he's like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, he doesn't want to sniff another stoppage here. During the whole COVID thing, just the look on his face, and all the shit they had to go through just to even get a COVID season going, and then the stoppage for a bit after that. Yeah, it's
Yeah, he looked like Jay Billis all fucking sweating.
He did. Holy shit. Well, I wonder if Lucky Rebel here will have odds of the next player president.
Yeah. I mean, they're going to, of course, it's going to be an ex-player, right?
Yeah.
I think they would benefit. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know who would be even in consideration for that, to be honest, because I don't know who is like the guy to lead it. So it's going to be really interesting moving forward.
Look at us breaking news here on a Tuesday as we record.
On a Tuesday.
It's pretty good. I like it.
Absolutely. Yeah. And speaking of the best and worst teams heading into spring training, it all starts with the owners.
Yeah, that it does, my friend. That it does. Like you had mentioned, looking on Lucky Rebel, there's the Dodgers, and then there's the field. I think, if we're looking at best owners in Major League Baseball, I'd start with the Guggenheim baseball management that owns the Los Angeles Dodgers here.
There's nobody else that's number one. They got to be number one.
Yeah, I would, just from what they do, they're no holds barred. They're, anything that they can do to make their team better. And if they, already have a good product on the field, they'll bring in a guy like Kyle Tucker, or they'll bring in Edwin Diaz to bolster their bullpen, or, bringing in Shohei Ohtani, trading for Mookie Betts, bringing in Freddie Freeman. This team just it's a juggernaut, man. And, there's the Dodgers as far as ownership, and then there's everyone else is a distant memory.
Yeah. I'd say, it's definitely them. I think if we're like we could do like some top three of the best and worst, and you got you got obviously the Dodgers. Who else is on your list? I would throw somebody like the Braves. The Braves is kind of just like the Dodgers. They're more of a collective group.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking 10 playoff appearances, 1 pennant, 1 World Series. Not bad.
I threw in for the trying aspect and the passion. I threw in Steve Cohen of the Mets, just because he's out there doing what he can. It doesn't always equate to wins on the field, but he is a guy who's very passionate about his team and ways to ways to make it better. And he's not afraid to spend. I mean, the guy's worth almost 20. He's worth almost $20 billion. So he brings in a Juan Soto. Just isn't afraid to open up the checkbook and go get those star players. Should he have did it with Pete Alonso? Hell yeah, he should have. But caught a little flack for that. But I mean, he's honest. He's very transparent about what he does, and he's not afraid to spend. So it hasn't equated to playoff success yet, but I think he's right up there, at least on my list of one of the best owners there. I think he gives a shit about his team.
Yeah, and he comes out and says things, that aren't detrimental to his team in a way, right? I mean, he came out recently and said he doesn't want a captain on his team. He doesn't believe in that. He wants the squad to kind of figure it out amongst themselves, which a lot of people were like, what the fuck, man? But no, I get it, man. I mean, he gives the team its own identity. It's like, you guys figure it out. I'm giving you the money to figure it out. I doubt it was his call to not bring back Pete Alonso. It wasn't his call. I'm sure he's letting his GM be a GM. And there's a lot of people who don't like Steve Cohen. But, I mean, from the outside looking in, from a Tigers fan perspective, it's nice to have an owner who not only understands baseball, but an owner that gives a shit enough to talk. I mean, he'll put himself in the forefront to talk about his team, where other owners kind of hide. You know?
Yeah, like Chris Ilitch, who comes out every so often. And,
right.
He's
like an owl.
He is. He really is. He'll pop out every so often and show his face around walking around spring training, pretend like he knows what's going on. Talk to Scott Harris and AJ Hinch, and then he'll pop out opening day, and then he'll pop out again mid-season or something, and then he'll pop out again at the end of the season. Other than that, he's behind the scenes.
Yeah, some say he's like the groundhog. If he sees his shadow during spring training, that means we're going to be able to hit the first part of the season. If he doesn't.
He doesn't.
He ain't going to help do anything to fix that.
Oh, accurate. Another one I like, and I'll probably catch some flack for this a little bit, is John Stanton, the Seattle Mariners owner. Just what he's done the last couple of years.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he didn't handle the Scott Cervais firing the best. Probably should have given that guy more of a heads up instead of reading about it. But he's showing that he's passionate right now. At least the last couple of years, making the run last year, bringing in Josh Naylor. He's bringing in the pieces in here to help make this team successful. Some of it as mixed and negative reviews, but I like, again, a guy that's seems passionate about what he passionate about his team and passionate about getting a contender on the field. So I put John Stanton from Seattle on my list as well.
That's a great underdog pick, right? I mean, it's just that's a really good pick. Somebody else we don't really talk about is an old owner, somebody that's owned the team since the 80s, since the beginning of the 80s, and that's John Middleton and the Buck families of the Philadelphia Phillies.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, for sure. Oh, yeah. They're not afraid to spend, are they? Especially Dave Dombrowski running things. Yeah.
Right. I mean, they knew who they were getting when they got that. They're like, listen, we don't need a farm system.
Nope.
But they're not.
Just let us contend.
They understand what the Phillies want and what that city is about. So that's led to 10 playoff appearances, 5 pennants, 1 World Series. Not bad. I mean, I think that's definitely a top owner.
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
agree. I
mean, that's some good ones. I mean, it's easy, right? If we were to choose the Steinbrenners.
Steinbrenner. But
I feel like they haven't really. Right. Exactly, dude. I just feel like they're like, one year they'll be really good, and then the next year they'll be like really bad. There's
very
since
inconsistent.
George died, there's been no even common ground.
Nope. Yeah, it's just been up and down. We're going to be cheap for a bit, and then we're going to go get Garrett Cole or trade for Stanton. Then we're going to be cheap and let the develop within, and then we're going to go trade for give up the farm to get a Juan Soto for a little bit. And then it's very, very inconsistent. Like you said, and they haven't done shit since 2009. I mean, they've made the playoffs. They sniffed the fart of a World Series a couple of years ago, but you knew they weren't going to beat the Dodgers. But they haven't really done much outside of the 2009 championship, and then before that, the early 2000s. So
yeah,
not much, man.
Not much. Shifting it over to
God.
the not so good ones. Hey, I
Real
mean,
turds, huh?
give me your top your bottom three. I mean, is a couple people out of the doghouse? Is there some new additions? Because you and I talk owners. We've talked owners a lot, and we haven't cut slack to any of them. But I'm kind of interested to see who your bottom three owners are in the league.
Well, I'm going to go right off the bat at number one here, a guy whose team, if you look on Lucky Rebel, has a plus 18,000 odds to win the World Series.
Oh,
Future's bright in here. I'm talking about Bruce Sherman of the Miami Marlins. I mean, this guy has lost almost 600 games since 2017, 433 wins, only 2 playoff appearances, barely spends any money on the team. Team value is about $1 billion. And the franchise lost more games than any other NL team. And star people like Derek Jeter was running the show, and he wanted to get the fuck out of there.
How do you edge Derek Jeter out?
Yeah,
I mean, you got to be a shitty owner if you're edging one of the most winning personalities in all the sport.
Yeah, so Bruce Sherman, he definitely tops my list.
I want to add on to that real quick.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at his net worth right now. Mm-hmm. See, this is the shit I'm talking about. He's only worth $500 million only, right? Like it's not a lot.
Only, yeah,
but
yeah.
$500 million, that's his net worth as of 2020. Okay. I feel like to be an owner, and that's why we kind of understand why he's cheap. You're like, oh, you're not a billionaire. So if you're not a billionaire, you shouldn't even own a team.
Get the fuck out of here. Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here, man.
What the hell are you doing?
Because this dude fucking can't afford it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Shohei Ohtani makes more than this guy.
Oh, my God. Juan Soto makes more than this guy. Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Come on, get out of there, Bill. Or Bruce.
Yeah. You know what? Bruce, Bill, whatever the fuck your name is, get the hell out of here, all right? The party starts at $1 billion, all right? If you're not even in the billions for your net worth, get the fuck out of here, all right? Or find some friends and do a Guggenheim type thing where you have a management group, with partial owners of the team. All
that's
right.
The way it should. That's the way it's going, dude.
Then
that's
you can own a fraction of the team and still feel like you're Mr. Big Shot here, but obviously you can't do it alone because you're one cheap fuck. All right.
Obviously. Yeah. Steve, who's your next guy? I have a feeling I know.
I'm going to drop a nut on this one, but it's it's Bob Nutting of the Pittsburgh Pirates. All right. The guy is owned the team for what 30 or so years.
Just about
four winning seasons. 3 playoff appearances, despite a net worth of over $1 billion. He consistently fails to really spend. I mean, this past off season they made some signings and had some rumblings for ties to players, but it wasn't really those big Kyle Tucker. It wasn't the big free agent signings here. No, it was basically we're showing that we care and hope that Paul Skeens will stick around and try and show the fan base we care. But I mean. He's cheap, just like Bruce Sherman's cheap, and I think fans in Pittsburgh want him to get the fuck out and sell the goddamn
out of here.
All right, so Bob Nutting, he's also on my list here. So
yeah, not surprised. I mean, he has spent a little bit in this offseason because he's trying to be like, hey, we want to keep Paul Skeens around, but he's not. He can't afford. Paul Skeens is going to make more than Nutting. So
I was going to say Nutting is Paul Skeens is going to command probably half of Nutting's net worth here, so $500 million. So he's gonna be like, nope, this ain't gonna work, is it?
Dude, when they lose Skeens, they're gonna. I mean, they're already calling for Nutting's head. I mean, Pat McAfee comes out, everybody comes out and says Nutting should sell the team. But who do you got for your last one, man? Who's your last one?
See, this is tough. I wanted to put maybe Artie Moreno on there of the Angels because that guy doesn't do shit. And just the way that he fumbled Ohtani and just the way that he, doesn't really, he brings in people that are well past their prime. So, this would have been a great signing in 2015 or just the way that he paid Anthony Rendon, who just didn't even want to fucking be there. And baseball's not even a good job done. But I put on there Charles and Richard Monfort, the owner of the Colorado Rockies.
Fucking pick. Yeah. Great.
Since 2006, they've had 100 lost seasons. They only have 1 pennant in franchise history. Again, low payroll, minimal investment. Despite owning a team, he has a reasonable market value of the team, and you fucking paid Chris Bryant to not do shit. So, Yeah, Munford, Charles and Richard are, I'd say, my other team ownership right there that sucks massive balls.
Another ownership team worth under $1 billion. I mean, they're and like I think you said, they have a valuable franchise in terms of where you play.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, Denver is a very good city, has a very passionate fan base. People, they pack the stadium. I guess that's their problem. Fans don't,
people are showing up.
They're going to show up. Yeah. Maybe it's the fucking air up there, but
they're just high.
They're just high all the time. But yeah, dude, I mean, you and I have always bagged on the Rockies. I mean, they just don't spend, and when they do spend, it's horrible. Yep. And they're developing is horrible. And the Monfort brothers, they're not worth $1 billion. So I don't know,
between
man.
The two of them.
Yeah, the Rockies need to get a passionate owner that wants to go in there and change things around. But it's good. Like I said, you and I, we've mentioned this before. The future is ownership teams, more than one owner. And that's, you notice the most successful people in the sport are owned by groups, not individual owners.
Yep. Like what the Orioles are doing now with their ownership group, going out and getting Pete Alonso and, bringing in more of the bigger free agents, but still developing, from within too. So it's the future. You and I talked about before, the future is ownership groups, not just one person.
That's it, man.
I think we're gonna see that big, especially once they figure out whatever this new collective bargaining agreement is going forward here. I think it's definitely gonna force the owners to form groups to own teams here. That's gonna be the norm. So
absolutely. So before we get to our then and now series, which we do shortstops this week, let's get a word from our sponsors.
Whether you're a casual collector or a season card enthusiast, the Penny Sleever is your one-stop shop for all your card protection needs. They carry everything from classic regular sleeves and versatile top loaders in multiple thicknesses, 35-point, 55-point, 75-point, 100-point, and beyond, to premium magnetic card holders and specially graded card sleeves perfect for PSA and SGC slabs. Need resealable bags, team bags, vintage sleeves, or colored top loaders? They have over 71 products in stock, all priced to help you build and protect your collection without breaking the bank. And now they're offering an exclusive promotion just for you. First-time buyers can get 10% off their entire order with promo code LONGGONE. Just visit thepennysleever.com and use that code at checkout. Don't let your valuable cards go unprotected. Shop the Penny Sleever today and see why collectors trust them with their most prized possessions. The Penny Sleever. Premium protection, penny pinching prices.
Well, Mike. Good old Penny Sleever.
Good old Penny Sleever. I love Penny Sleever. Those bumpers. Dude, you know what? I found something here. And I'm new to this. This lady friend that I've been seeing showed me this when I went on eBay the other day. All right.
Yeah.
And I didn't even think about this. You can press the camera option and take a picture of something that you have, and they'll show how much it's, what it's selling for if you don't know what you have, and they'll give you some background on it. So, like, I had some of these little blankets that my dad gave me that have, like, baseball players on them, and I took a picture of it and sent it on eBay, and it turns out it's like a 1914 tobacco blanket. And I found out who the player was and how much it goes for. Not much money, but I just thought that was a cool little tool that you can use. Not that eBay is one of our sponsors, but it was super cool to be able to. That's basically how I spent my Saturday night after that. Was randomly taking
around your house, snapping pictures.
I was, dude. It was a good time. Anyway, but yeah. Penny Sleever, pitchers and catchers are reporting for spring training. We got the Tops Series 1 coming out now, so get on Penny Sleever. Get your top loaders, get your cases. They got a whole wide selection of stuff. They'll meet all your needs there. So,
your aluminum,
get on there first. You got all your good stuff there. If you haven't checked out Michael's unboxing video, check that thing out. It's fucking sweet. But yeah, good stuff. Get, very, family oriented there. Use promo code Long Gone for 10% off your first order. Just Penny Sleever. Fantastic product, fantastic people.
Yeah, absolutely. I echo what Steve said. I mean, it's, we're in that collecting season. People are, baseball's around the corner. So, that's the biggest collecting, right? The biggest collecting is in baseball. So, started with some penny sleever. Absolutely. Yep. Moving on. Then and now.
It's that time. We've shifted
shortstops of the 90s.
God, the shortstops of the 90s. I think we agreed on number one, but everything else is kind of a crapshoot, right?
I thought the 90s had really good shortstops. The 90s had really good shortstops.
They did. A good list, a good variety of people here. I'll kick things off here myself with the guy that we actually talked a little bit about earlier, and the guy who got his career started in the 90s there, and that's Mr. Captain himself, Derek Jeter, number 2. He kicked off his career there in 1995, and basically, hit the ground running with the Yankees. Another one of those players that can hit as well as do great in the field. Derek Jeter could do it all there, man. But great. Could hit for average. Could give you some pop in the bat if you needed to as well. He's the captain. Really, longevity, but had to start somewhere, and it started in the mid 90s there for him. So Derek Jeter, he comes in for me at number 5.
Yeah, great pick. The captain, obviously really good. This my number 5 kind of goes against all the rules I've done up to this point because I didn't really choose Sandberg when we did the second baseman because his best years were in the 80s, and he didn't, he ended his career in the 90s. And I've done this with like the third baseman. Like I know there was somebody that commented, they're like, there's no, they're like, what about Scott Rowland? I'm like, yeah, Scott Rowland didn't really take off till the late 90s. Yeah. But with this, this is just more of like a remember pick, like a childhood memory. And I really like Nomar Garciaparra. He comes in for me at number 5. I know, he started his career in 96, or he debuted in 96 at 22 years old, but he took off, right? And he ended up getting the Rookie of the Year. And, in those late 90s, he was the guy. It was the three-headed beast between A-Rod, Jeter, and Nomar. Everybody was like, wow. These, the East Coast shortstops are where it's at. And in the 90s, he compiled he got 322 batting average, had 615 hits in just 4 years. I thought he was just absolutely incredible. So Nomar Garciaparra from me comes in at number 5 as more of a golden memory.
So solid pick, and great years there for the Red Sox with him. Number 4 for me, probably kind of a shocker. He kind of split time between third and short, and that's Travis Fryman. It's kind of a homer pick for me. Yeah, great career, with the Tigers and with Cleveland. Yeah. But Travis Fryman, again, he was a guy that could play multiple positions, but with Trammell getting to where he was at, near the end of his career, Fryman, kind of came in and took over that shortstop role and did it very well. He had the pop in his bat, and could hit for a very solid average. Like I said, started out his career there with Detroit and then moved on to Cleveland. But a guy that could give you 20+ home run power, could drive you close to 70, 80 runs. I remember seeing the clip of him. He hit for the cycle there in the 90s. I forgot who they were playing. It was probably Cleveland or something like that. Or maybe I think they're playing the Yankees. But a guy that could give you the pop, but could also get you doubles, triples that as well, and parlayed it into a some good playoff success in the late 90s there with Cleveland. So Travis Fryman, he comes in for me at number 4.
Dude, I love Travis Fryman. I like third baseman Travis Fryman more, but I thought shortstop Travis Fryman. Right? You're talking about Alan Trammell getting older, Fryman coming in, being the young gun, and I thought I wish he would have ended his career in Detroit.
Oh, me too, man.
I really like Travis Fryman, but I understand why they moved on from him. But I really like Travis Fryman. Good pick. Good sneaky sleeper pick. I went a little safer with number 4, Barry Larkin.
Okay.
Listen, when everybody was talking about Nomar Garciaparra, Derek Jeter, Alex Rodriguez, there was a guy in the Midwest that was killing it the whole time. 12-time All-Star, MVP, 1990 World Series champion, 9-time Silver Slugger, 3-time Gold Glove. He could do it on the field, and with the glove. He could do it at the plate. I don't. His statistics don't like pop at me. Like when I look at him, I'm like, you're talking about a guy that probably shouldn't have been in the Hall of Fame. I mean, I think he's in the Hall of Fame just because in the 90s, remember Derek Jeter, A-Rod, Nomar, they came in the later 90s, right? So they came in the later 90s where the, Barry Larkin was started in the 80s, right? So it's just stuff like that. So he, in the 90s, he hit 303, 137 home runs, 639 ribs. Jeez. So yeah. So Barry Larkin for me comes in at number 4.
That's a solid. Yeah, no, I'm all for the Barry Larkin pick there, and Michigan man too, right? Didn't you go? You went to Michigan for college, yeah. Number 3 is a guy that Mike, you had a little lower on your list, but you know what? I loved him a little bit more. He was one of my guys I like to watch in the '90s, so kind of a nostalgic type pick for me, and it was a smaller sample size for him in the '90s, and that's Nomar Garciaparra for me. Yes. Like you said, he broke in the league in the mid to late '90s there, but for 97, 98, 99, which were his first 3 full seasons. He came in for, 24 games in 96, but rookie of the year in 97, 357 batting average in 99, a guy that could hit you 30 plus home runs, drive in, as much as 122 RBIs as a peak in 1998. But, a guy that led the league in hits in his rookie year with 209 in 97. But, just a great silver, could get you the Silver Slugger. So it's a great offensive player, always in the MVP conversation there, especially in the late 90s into the early 2000s. But just small sample size in the 90s when he was just starting out. But I thought he was worthy enough for me to go at number 3. So Nomar Garciaparra comes in for me at number 3.
Great pick indeed. Number 3 for me, A-Rod. I mean, what to say about A-Rod? It's hard putting him on this list.
Yeah.
See, I'm allergic to A-Rod.
You're allergic to A-Rod.
One of the greatest hitters of all time, but the roids, right? I mean,
roids.
With the 90s, you and I, it's really hard to pick some players because of the roid situation, and you don't know when they roided, how long they roided. Right. But, but for what it is, from 18 years old to 23 years old that Alex Rodriguez did. I mean, he started in 94 to 99. He was a young man when he started. And, at the end of the 90s, he was still one of the premier shortstops in the league. Yeah. 308 average, 463 RBIs, OPS of 914, which is amazing. 791 hits. I mean, he has some of the greatest records of the game, but and he's just not in the Hall of Fame because of the roid thing. But, hard, aside from the roids, if you put that aside, I mean, his numbers, without taking that into consideration, were very, very good. So Alex Rodriguez, for me, begrudgingly, comes in at number
Well, I'm allergic to A-Rod too, but he comes in for me at number 2, just a tick higher. I like to think he wasn't roiding up when he was with Seattle there because he looked a lot skinnier in those days. But, Mike, like what you talked about, I mean, a 358 average in 1996 there led the league in total bases that season as well. When he finished runner-up for MVP, 379 total bases in 96. Could drive in the runs, obviously, could get you the doubles. He, led the league in doubles in 96 as well, get you 40 plus, 50 plus doubles, hit you 20, 30, 40 plus home run power, RBI is well over, but could steal you bases too. I mean, it's a guy in 98 stole 46 bases, consistently hit, average above 300 multiple times there in the 90s. But like Mike said, he's got the tainted cloud of the roids. Was he roiding at this time? Was he not? It's hard to tell, but can't deny the stats that he put out. One of the greatest hitters of our generation, if not all time. Was it because of the roids? Anyone's guess, but he still played the ball. But begrudgingly, I put him in at number 2 because you can't deny the stats that he had.
Yeah, he was just amazing.
Yeah.
Number 2 for me is Captain, my captain.
Oh, okay, Mr. Jeter.
Mr. Jeter. Yeah, it's hard, man, to not like, you can't keep him on this list. I mean, you can't not keep him on this list just because he was a great 90s player. He came in the mid 90s, again, breaking my rule of not being there the whole time, but his impact was definitely felt in the 90s. I mean, won Rookie of the Year in 96, was a runner-up on MVP in 98, 99, dark horse in 96 or 97. You know, it was a guy that compiled a 318 batting average, OPS of 815. He was early in his career, and even most of the career, he wasn't a guy that was going to get you 30 home runs a season. He could get you 20, but his thing was he was a table setter. He could get you the big hits. He could play clutch. He was one of the best clutch baseball players I've ever seen, and he was a very patient hitter at the plate, and he led with sheer determination. He reminds me of Kobe Bryant, right? It was just always getting better at your game and always just trying to be better than the next guy. And he was a great leader. I mean, he wore that captaincy that the Yankees are prestigious for so well. And the guys that came after him have to live up to Jeter, because I think he sets the standard. So Derek Jeter, just when you think of 90s baseball, Derek Jeter definitely sticks out. So for me, he comes in on number 2.
Solid. Well, number 1, I think we did agree on one, and that was number 1 with the Iron Man here, Cal Ripken Jr.
Oh, yeah.
He comes in at number 1. I mean, he did a lot of his work was done in the 80s. Came in and first full season was 82, but in the 90s he was still going strong. MVP season there in 91. Obviously, the model of consistency. The guy would come out and play every fucking day. Could give you the pop in his bat, 30-plus home run power, 100-plus RBI potential if you wanted to as well. But just could do it with the bat. He could do it with the glove too. I mean, it's a guy who, excuse me. How many Gold Gloves? Surprisingly, only 2 Gold Gloves in his whole career, guys. I mean, but it's got to just be the company that he went up against there in the 80s and in the 90s. But model of consistency, could do it on all parts of the field. So Cal Ripken Jr., he comes in for me at number 1.
Yeah, same as well. One of the best right-handed shortstops ever. He kind of started the trend of the tall shortstops, which brought in Derek Jeter and A-Rod later on. So, that he kind of set the standard. A very good Hall of Famer. He didn't have. He had the 3,000 hits, the over 1,500 RBIs. I mean, he was a guy. Probably the best Oriole, aside from Brooks Robinson in their history. So, and it's cool that he's part of the ownership group now too. So,
agreed.
Cal Ripken number 1 unanimously. Yeah,
and let's not forget that his brother kidnapped his mom, right?
Yeah, he needed the money.
He needed the money.
Billy Ripken. Steve and I have
Billy.
had serious conversations about this.
We have. Oh my god. So let's shift from the then to the now.
The now.
This guy for me coming in at number 5, still fairly young. I mean, he's 26 years old. Yep. If you're on Lucky Rebel going in for your future bets, I think he'll be right up there in MVP consideration, seeing as he finished 4th in the MVP voting last year. And that's Geraldo Perdomo for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Yep. This guy's coming into his own here. I mean, since he's gotten into the league, he just keeps getting better. I mean, he went from a 3.5 WAR in 98 games in 2024 to playing on 161 games, getting a WAR of 7. I mean, tapped into his home run potential. And got himself 20 home runs last year, 100 RBIs, can steal you the bases, 27 stolen bases. Isn't going to strike out much either. I mean, this is in 161 games this past season. He struck out 83 times, can draw you some walks. He had 94 walks, can hit for a solid average to 290 average. He just seems to keep getting better. And I think that trajectory is going to continue here into this season. So Perdomo, he comes in for me at number 5.
Nice. Perdomo. Good pick indeed. I went with Ellie De La Cruz, number 5.
Solid.
I think people are just waiting for him to bust out, but I mean, this is a guy, while we're waiting for that big momentous season, still putting up solid numbers. 86 ribs last year, 22 dingers. He's got to stay healthy. That's a big one. I mean, it's not like he's Mr. Injury prone by any standards. I think he's been a model of consistency last year, playing every day, year before that. So if he stays healthy, I think you could see some real numbers from him, right? He's not like O'Neal Cruz, right? I think this guy's a little bit more fine-tuned, right? But so if he can stay healthy, I think he could be one of the best shortstops in the NL for sure. Which he's shown so far. So, Ellie De La Cruz for me, still waiting for that breakout season, the 100 RBIs, the 30, 40 home runs, but he comes in for me at number 5.
Nice. Number 4 for me is a guy who, he's getting older, but he's not giving up yet. Top 5 in MVP voting last year, and that would be Trey Turner.
Nice.
He's a guy who led the league in batting average last year at 304. Still has that pop in his bat. 15 home runs, 69 RBIs. Not quite the height that he had coming off his time there with the Dodgers, where in that 2022 season. He was basically a 5-tool guy, get you the home runs, get you the RBIs, steal you the bases. Yeah, the power has dipped a little bit, but the still hitting for average, still stealing bases, still can drive you in those runs, and can do it on the field as well. Like I said, he's getting slightly up there, getting near 33 years old, but the engine just keeps chugging along, and we'll see what happens this coming year. But still one of the best in my eyes. So Trey Turner comes in for me at number 4.
Hell yeah, good pick. I mean, Trey Turner had some up and downs, right? But it seems like he's finally figured it out in Philly. So, I went with Gunnar Henderson. I went with youth. I thought the start of last year was really fucking rough, right? I don't know. If I were the Orioles, I would just burn every tape from last year and be like, that was not us, guys. I don't know what the fuck that was. Holy shit. Because it was just bad. I mean, Gunnar Henderson acted like he didn't even knew what baseball was at the beginning of last year.
What the fuck is this?
And then he started picking it up, because remember the year before that, when his rookie year, or in 22 and 23, everybody was like, dude, this guy, it's him and Bobby Witt Jr., man. We're talking about the next Cal Ripken, Alan Trammell kind of comparisons here. But it's just, he was kind of been like this, and he stayed healthy. It wasn't the health factor. It was just the non-performative factor. I mean, this is a guy that should easily hit for 30, 40 home runs. Last year wound up with 17, right? 68 ribs. I mean, this guy should be getting 90 at least, just, every year. So I think the projectability is there. He's only 24 years old. I think he's going to come. I think he just has the work mentality that I've heard of, I've heard that he has. And I think that team will be a lot better this year. You got leaders in the clubhouse now, like Pete Alonso. And I think Gunner's going to take off again. I think that was just a speed bump.
Yep.
And I think he's worthy of my number 4.
He's worthy enough for my number 3. All right. I put him a tick above everyone else just because, it was, like Mike said, it was a blip in the radar, I think. Last year, just take everything from every player on that Orioles team and just flush it down the toilet and just say this is a reset. We'll go with what he did in 2024 and in 2023 when he was hitting, 30-plus home runs and driving in close to 100 runs, and, the rookie of the year from 2023. I just think last year was a fluke, and the average was still there. The power wasn't. Obviously went from 37 home runs down to 17, but the average was still there. It hit a respectable 274, and I think he'll figure it out. He stayed healthy, was very, he's been very durable. That's the good thing about Gunnar Henderson here, and I just think last year was just an abnormality, I think. So I think he's going to be a lot better this coming year. So for that reason, I put him in as my number 3.
Yeah, I mean, rightfully so. Number 3 for me, I'm probably going to catch flack for it, but it's Mookie Betts. I just...
Boo! No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, man, I know I'm being a homer pick. I know, people who listen to the show, I think very highly of Mookie Betts. He's one of my favorite players of all time. I'm not ready to quit.
You're not giving
Mookie
up,
Betts.
Don't quit on me, Mookie.
Listen, last year was a great year. I'll be the first to say it, all right? But it still wound him up with 20 home runs, 82 ribs. I mean, Shohei Ohtani and some of these other guys are kind of are starting to outperform him. He's going to be 33 years old this year. You're going to be approaching the mid-30s soon. So obviously there's going to be a natural descension, right? There's going to be a natural dip in the game. We understand that. Yep. But I just still think he's a quality player, and I know a lot of people don't want to hear the "Wow, Christ, who cares about fielding?" But I still think it's a big thing. I think he's a great fielding shortstop. He's one of the best athletes I've ever seen. Who can play outfield, infield. He can play all over. And the thing I love about Mookie Betts, he's not a fucking liability at the plate. He's not going to get 100 strikeouts like he used to do in 23 and 22. He's a guy that can literally hit 30 home runs a season. He has 30 home run power, almost 40 home run power, but he has 30 home run power, and he's not like Riley Green where he's going to strike out 150 times. He's not going to be like some of these guys who are just a lot of whiff in their game. He can set the table, he can move over. I still think he's just a quality. What he brings to the team all the way around, you could put him at leadoff, second, third, anywhere in that lineup, and he's going to hit. So Mookie Betts, still quality. It's not like we're not seeing a Miguel Cabrera drop off here.
Oh, God, I hope not. Yeah.
He comes in for me at number 3.
Oh, man, you're going to catch flack on Reddit for that.
I totally do. Dude, Reddit.
Number
no baseball.
This guy, how'd you host a podcast? This guy don't know baseball. Dude, I know more than you.
One comment a couple weeks ago, they're like, well, this guy's giving me a reason not to listen to the podcast.
Wow.
I was laughing about
Bring
that.
It, Reddit. All right. That's cool. Number 2 for me is Francisco Lindor. I mean, the guy, has been the model of, you talk about consistency. He's been that guy. He might miss the start of the season as he's being evaluated here for a potential, injury, I believe injury in his hand there. So potentially could miss the start of the season, but, once he comes back, he's going to be that guy again. I mean, this is a guy who led the league in at-bats last year, 644. He's going to play, model of, like I said, consistency, durable, there every year. Would I like the strikeouts to cut down? Hell yeah, I want the strikeouts to cut down. I mean, 131 strikeouts last year, but he's going to hit you solid average, 267 average last year, 30-plus home run power, get you close, 80, 90, 100 RBIs a season if you really push him. He's always going to be in that MVP conversation. Just a fantastic hitting, and can do it in the field too. The guy's won a couple of Gold Gloves in his career, so he can do it on both sides of the field there. I mean, the Mets have their new face now that the polar bear's gone. I think it's Pete Alonso Pete Alonso. I miss Pete Alonso. Francisco Lindor. So because of that Francisco Lindor, he comes in for me at number 2.
Number 2, yeah, he comes in for me at number 2 as well. Very similar to Mookie Betts in terms of career, in terms of what they bring. 30 home run power, they can set the table. I think Lindor at this point in his career has a little more pop than Mookie Betts. He's like a year or 2 younger, but I think Lindor figured it out. It was a little rocky there with the Mets, and then he figured it out, and he could still. I wish he was a 300 hitter like he started in Cleveland, but I just think where he's putting in, what's expected of him, where he's putting the lineup. I think from here on out, he's going to be always over 100 strikeouts a season. He's going to be a run driver. It's interesting. Mookie had to take on different roles when he went to the Dodgers, right? I mean, you have Freddie Freeman, you have Shohei Ohtani, you have such a powerhouse lineup that he doesn't need to do all those things that he did in Boston, where Lindor needs to do all those things.
Yep.
Right? To stay relevant, you need him to be a run driver. You need him to get those RBIs for you because there's not a lot of people that are going to do it, especially now that they lost Pete Alonso. I mean, they got Soto, right? But Soto, he has a lot of that, obviously, to his game, but he's not. I don't know. I feel like Alonso. It's like you can always rely on Alonso to bring in the runs, where Lindor is like, okay, I'm gonna have to do this, but just with Soto and some of my supporting cast, which is a good supporting cast for sure. But Lindor, he's worthy of it. I think he's just and he's a good fielder. He's a really good fielder. So he comes, I mean, I don't know. Let me see how many fucking Gold Gloves he's won. I don't, two Gold Gloves. So that makes sense. I mean, it makes sense. So he comes in for me at number 2.
2 Gold Gloves for our number 2 guy. Well, here's our number 1 guy. I think we agreed on this one as well, and that's Bobby Witt Jr. This guy fucks, man.
He's really good.
No ifs, ands, or buts. It was kind of a quote-unquote down year for Bobby Witt Jr., but still led the league in hits. I mean, 184 hits on the season, which was down from his 211 hits in 2024. But doubles machine, led the league in doubles, can get you the triples, has the power in his bat to give you 20, 30 home run potential. Can get you over 100 RBIs if you want him to. He steals bases. I mean, 49 steals in 2023. 38 steals this past season. He's going to hit you for decent average too. Led the league in average 2024 at 332. This year 290, or this past season 295. He's going to win an MVP at some point here. It's just a matter of when and not if. And not only all the offensive that he does, he's fucking great defender too. 2 Gold Gloves already in his career, so he's doing it all over the place. This guy's a superstar. He's going to continue that trajectory and continue to be one of those faces of MLB. So Bobby Witt Jr. comes in for me at number 1.
Yep, I echo that, Steve. Just a really good player in his first 4 years. A guy that plays. I love how durable he is. Yeah. He plays almost every game. He can play hurt. I mean, he's been roughed up before. He's young. I mean, obviously, he's 25 years old. And, you're kind of coming into a point in your career where it's like he's going for that. He already signed like a bigger contract. He's going to go for that next big contract. So you're going to, potentially see some bigger numbers. And he's still waiting to get that MVP. And he's on a good trajectory to do that. I mean, he puts up good numbers. He's very reminiscent to Cal Ripken in the early stages of his career. And it's fun to watch Bobby Witt Jr. and it's just a really good player for the Kansas City Royals. So, Bobby Witt comes in for me at number 1 as well.
Nice.
Yes.
Well, that's our then and now at shortstop. We're moving next on the diamond for next week. This is it.
We move left field, Barry Bonds.
Left field. All right.
It's basically like Barry Bonds and who?
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. Again, it's going to be, we got to look at it's the 90s, so those steroid clouds are going to loom over some of these players. But it's going to be Barry Bonds and next.
Next. Yeah, unfortunately, man.
Yeah.
So this week.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to lead us into Collection Corner, do it.
Yeah, I was going to say it's time for our monthly hobby huddle segment here in Collection Corner, which is sponsored by our Mark Movers app. So, I had to enjoy this interview that we have with Nicholas Green of the Market Movers in this segment of Hobby Huddle. So, shall we head on over to Collection Corner?
Let's do it.
All right. Yeah.
Ready to ride the next big hobby wave? Market Movers puts the entire sports card and TCG market right in your hands. With pricing on over 7 million cards powered by real sales data, including eBay, Fanatics Collect, Golden, Heritage, and more. Track your collection on mobile or desktop. Instantly see your value and P&L by sport, year, player, set, or grade. Compare any card side by side. Monitor live price swings to spot trends early. Uncover underpriced deals. And set custom alerts so you never miss a move. With Market Movers, you turn market data into smarter buys, bigger profits, and a stronger collection. Sign up today and try it risk-free for 14 days. Plus, get 20% off for life with the promo code GONE20 at marketmoversapp.com.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another segment of the Hobby Huddle. And with us today, that's not Teapot. We got Nick Green here from Market Movers, our sponsor of the Hobby Huddle. Nick, how's it going, man?
It's going well. You got me today, filling in for Teapot.
Yeah.
So hopefully I can fill his shoes.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's great that we can finally get you on. Teapot's great and all, but it's great having you here too. And we talked about before the show, we should come up with a nickname for you. Could be scary, but we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, I'll welcome any suggestions.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you got to be busy over there at Market Movers. We got the Topps release happening here. I think in the next day or so. I think it's got to be a busy time over in the Market Movers land here. What's going on?
Oh yeah, that's first flagship release of the year. That's always a popular one. We'll have it here in the store, and we'll have the team adding those cards to Market Movers immediately. So anytime if you're in checking sales, you're already seeing some people who opened that product early who already are listing those for sale.
Yeah.
So they'll be popping up here in the next day or two in a big way.
Okay. That's very, very, very cool. I know Michael and I usually when Michael's living down here, when the hobby boxes would come out, we'd always rip a box together. Maybe we should virtually do something like that, Mike. I don't know, try and figure something out. That'd be kind of fun, right?
That'd be pretty dope. This is and this is the kind of a year, because football's over, right? Football's done. Super Bowl, boring Super Bowl that it was, is over and done with.
It was.
Sorry for all you Seahawk fans. And then, now it's everybody's kind of gearing into baseball. So I know cousins, friends, everybody I know is like starting to buy packs. I mean, they're watching it heavily. Now is the time for baseball season for the card opening market. So I'm sure that's what you're seeing on your end too, right, Nick?
Oh yeah, we're starting to see the market start to tick up. People who were doing football a week ago are now moving into the next thing, which baseball, with spring training right around the corner. This is the time to be jumping in.
This is that time. This is usually a really good time of year, probably for the baseball card market, as the weather starts getting warmer. I know here in Michigan we hit the 40s, so it kind of felt like 90 today.
Yeah.
But the eyes are definitely on spring. You have a few baseball indexes you want to go over. Baseball index versus the SCI 500 and market movers. You want to talk about?
Yeah, I can jump in there. Let me open this up. Let's see if I can. Whoa. Okay. Let's see.
Looks great.
All right.
Wow.
So I went ahead and pulled up our market pulse, which we had. You can see my screen, right?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just want to double check. Pulled up market pulse. This is kind of it within market movers, where we've built a bunch of indexes by different categories covering different sports. I think we've gone over this in the past, but just a refresher. And what I've done is I've pulled up 3 of the most relevant baseball indexes, looking at 2010 through 2017, 2018 through 2020, and 2021 through 2023, and comparing those against our SCI 500, which is just a compilation of the 500 best sports cards across all categories. And that kind of gives you an idea of where the overall sports card market is heading. So if we compare that against these 3 indexes, looking at, just over the last 2 weeks, they're all already outpacing the SCI 500.
Oh, wow.
This is showing that people are starting to transition over to baseball. You're starting to see more sales, more dollars coming in as people are gearing up for spring training. We see this really every year at this time. It's super predictable. Super Bowl ends. People want to keep, collecting and engaging with cards. Baseball, spring training right around the corner. Everyone's feeling optimistic. Every team has a chance to win the World Series. Everyone's going to be an MVP. So this is kind of that period of general excitement, and people are buying and selling cards. This kind of starts to fizzle out once the actual season starts out, and reality sort of sets in for some fan bases. You might be a Colorado Rockies fan and realize that you have no shot, and all of a sudden
you're already eliminated.
You're already eliminated, and all of a sudden you don't care about cards anymore, and so you're going to start to see some of this excitement fizzle out. So this is really like that time if you're trying to sell cards. Great time to sell. We're still sort of early enough where it's still kind of a good buying space. With more cards just hitting the market, it's really just a good time to be a baseball card collector.
Oh yeah, for sure. And let's talk a little bit about players who who are already moving. Maybe go over player movements that you've been seeing recently in market movers. Who's seeing the largest price and volume gains as we head into these spring training months?
Definitely, I can pull that up as well.
Ooh.
Hope you can still see my screen here.
We sure can.
Jose Canseco, let's go.
All right, so I pulled up movements next, which this is you'll see some oddballs sort of pop up.
Kyle Lewis.
Whoa.
So we go down here, but this is again where we're seeing, like, you can look at how cards and specific players, which I have filtered here, are moving over time. So looking specifically at the last 2 weeks, I pulled up just baseball cards, PSA 10s, rookie cards only, just to give us a good, accurate base. I put 10 sales, so every card would have had to sell 10 times over the last 2 weeks. And looking at players who are starting to get a little price movement momentum, we're starting to see their prices go up as we're entering spring training. Obviously, Jose Canseco being at the top here. bit of a surprise, but I
That is
hadn't
a
been paying
surprise.
attention to Jose Canseco's news. I don't know if he did something or something happened that would have caused his price to spike.
Yeah.
With that guy, you kind of never know.
It's true. He is a loose cannon.
There's some other ones in here, like Kyle Lewis.
Lewis.
I don't even know where he's at right now, but maybe there's a chance for a bounce back season for him. Maybe some people are starting to sneak in and buy some Kyle Lewis cards early. Guys like Manny Machado, established stars, kind of already on that Hall of Fame track. It's always a good buying opportunity with players like that. So no surprise there. Bo Jackson, again, kind of an odd one to be popping up in here. But
he just announced that he was battling cancer not too long ago.
Oh.
He announced that on, I think I was watching the Dan Patrick show, and he came on, Super Bowl weekend, and they had guests, and he was one of the guests, and he actually announced he had he's better now, he's in remission, but I guess he had cancer, a prostate cancer, and so I was so it doesn't surprise me that he's up there because you start seeing his name out there quite a bit.
Yeah.
Wow. Well,
yeah,
glad he's in recovery.
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
But so his cards are up a little bit, 16% over the last 2 weeks. Nolan Arenado, no surprise. Tony Gwynn, again, a bit of a weird one. Gary Sheffield. But you'll get these kind of older stars, retired players popping up just as baseball season kicks off.
Mm-hmm.
People generally are more excited about the active players, but as they switch over to baseball, they go back to players they used to love and start buying their cards up as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a couple more down here. Julio, Adley, Aaron. No big surprises there. But those are players who are seeing their cards prices start to increase as we go into spring training.
Mm-hmm.
The more telling metric to me would be sales volume, looking at who's seeing more sales, even if they're lower priced. I think there's a lot of players on here that are sort of in that were hyped up at one point, maybe didn't perform or got injured, and now they're sort of due for potentially a bounce back. I think a lot of people are buying in on that. So like Jordan Walker, Cardinals have kind of gone into rebuild mode.
Yeah.
He sort of has an opportunity in front of himself to become, kind of the guy of that team.
Mm-hmm.
Evan Carter, kind of a dud last year. Obviously, Nick Kurtz, fantastic season. This is just generally people being excited about baseball, and obviously he was a hot player last year. Eloy, I don't even know what's going on there.
Is he healthy right now?
Yeah.
we always laugh that he sneezes and injures himself.
Yeah,
so,
for real.
Maybe people are on the Eloy train a little bit.
This just kind of goes to show that any little bit of news or just a group of people being optimistic can kind of move the market pretty quickly on some of these players.
Yeah.
Okay.
Guys like Volpe and Harris, maybe had down points or were injured last year. Those fan bases obviously still really care about them, so they're just getting excited for spring training.
Yeah,
your guy Riley down here. I don't know who's buying Wander cards.
Oh God!
You can go ahead and stop that.
What's the sales volume? What are we looking at?
14 sales in the last 14 days, so not a lot, but up from 9 the 2 weeks prior, which is still too many.
Way too many.
Yeah, 9 too many. My gosh!
This is more like active players who are actually playing versus retired. But those are, I guess, you can kind of get a sneak peek at who people might be high on moving forward.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, the Wander Franco definitely surprises me there, because why anyone want to buy any of his cards is beyond me right now, right?
Yeah, that's a little nuts.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, looking ahead, go ahead, Mike.
No, I was saying, I do the Whatnot app a lot, and for auctions of cards, and I see the Bowman ones are really popular right now. They came out, and then I see some people getting the museum packs. It's always the hot releases are the ones that people are auctioning off for the highest dollar, which is pretty crazy. But names that you do see, the names that we've seen on that list, that's crazy. I haven't seen too many of those names that are going for high dollar. It's usually your normal ones, right? Your Shohei Ohtani's, your Freddie Freeman's, those are pretty huge. But it's interesting to see I wonder where the market's going to be in terms of like some of these like free agent players that we talked about. Like the first time we spoke with Market Movers in the first interview, I remember we seen, Schwarber, remember before Schwarber signed, right?
Yep.
When he signed with Philly, he was up there by a lot. There was, God, who else was up there? You had who else? There was a few of them. Some high dollar free agents. The Kyle Tuckers were going pretty big at the time. Wondering are they're going. I wonder where their market ends up being. Like it just flattens out when the season starts, or they still ride pretty high. That's gonna be interesting to see.
Yeah, those will definitely be interesting to see. I think a lot of those players, especially when they're switching teams, there's sort of they have to get acquainted with the new fan base a little bit. There's a little bit of excitement when they're coming in, but if you're a team like the Dodgers and you get Kyle Tucker on top of an already star-studded lineup,
God, right?
He's just sort of the cherry on top of a massive team that you're already excited about. You might not see his cards move a ton, but if he, comes out and gets off on a tear, you could see those start to rise.
Yeah, for sure. Looking ahead to spring training, I'd like to get a sneak peek of your 10 player picks. Your best buys right now, and just preface this by saying we're not giving out financial advice right here or anything like that. Just players you're looking at as a potential rise that could increase in value here. By the All-Star break. As we go ahead to spring training.
Yeah. Not financial advice. This is for fun. This is for fun. Some players that I like, and we're kind of at that point where if you are getting into baseball cards and you want to get some players that you think are going to have some upside that, in my opinion, are probably going to be more valuable in 6 months than they are today. I'm kind of targeting like that All-Star break period is when I would expect them to be to have risen a substantial amount. Then these are some of them. A lot of them are going to be pretty obvious, no surprises. I did throw in some oddballs at the end. But I think first up, if you look at this chart, you'll probably notice that this is Shohei. And this is from all the way back in 2018 when he hit the league to now in this, monster roller coaster of a chart that we've got for some of his top cards. And you might think, okay, that's reached the top. There's nowhere else for that to go. But he's still someone that I'm optimistic we could see his prices continue to climb. I think you have 3, big moments for him, starting with the WBC coming up.
Yeah.
In 2023, we saw that obviously being a monster moment for baseball and Shohei in particular. And so I think you could see that drive his prices even higher than they are now, with some of that's going to be hype driven, assuming Japan makes a run and he's playing and performing well. I think you're going to then get right into the first early part of the season, and you're going to have Shohei pitching and you're going to have Shohei hitting. And it seems like every week he's breaking some record or doing something historic. And with that, you're going to have some more attention, driven to his cards. And I think he's in a unique position where he really has that global appeal. There's a lot of collectors, around the world, Japan, and even here in the US, who are still going to be buying his cards in a big way and willing to pay those high prices. So just looking at his, cards specifically over the last 2 weeks, relatively flat. So there's not been much increase in his price. I do expect this to change though in the next months, where I think we're going to see his cards hit a new all-time high. So Shohei, at this point, has the potential to end up as the greatest baseball player ever. And I think that with that comes, who knows how high his card prices could end up one day.
Yeah, and you made a really good point about the WBC too. I mean, once that starts, you're going to see a lot of different kinds of players take off. I know with Aaron Judge competing in the WBC, and it's some of the some of the high value American players in terms of cards. I mean, you're just going to see that keep going. And I mean, it's true. It's like the ones who are winning. Like I remember Lindor, his year when he was in the WBC. I mean, his card was up there. I mean, his card kept taking off. And then, especially Ichiro. You saw Ichiro when he was in the WBC back then. His stuff took off. I mean, and with the new wave of Japanese players that entered the league this year, I'm sure that's going to be a factor. And I don't know, Steve, I'm kind of new when it comes to WBC in terms of cards. Is there like a special release card for WBC?
I am not sure.
I've never really looked into that.
I mean, especially with Fanatics taking over the Topps brand, I could see them, coming out with like a special release. I was on watching some breaks earlier, and there's like a Topps has their own like like Japanese card like packs and stuff too.
Yeah.
Which is a whole different niche of, people that haven't, come over to the States yet, but are big in Japan.
Yeah.
And, getting cards like that, seeing those cards take off. I haven't seen any like a special like WBC set or anything like that. That's actually a really good idea.
They do have one.
They do? Okay.
For the last WBC, they had a pretty nice set. A lot of relics, a lot of autographs, all the big names that were in it.
Wow.
It was one of my favorite sets of that year. So I would anticipate they're going to do something like that again.
Yeah,
cool.
And then they do everything for Topps now as well. The print to order cards that you can get through Topps.com. They'll highlight every major moment from the tournament there as well.
Yeah.
So there's definitely an opportunity to get some cool cards.
Have you seen the Topps Now stuff? That do those go? I mean, are those very valuable, or is that something you see more down the line that they're going to be valuable? Because I've never really. I mean, I know when they first announced, we're going to do Topps Now way back when, and it was a thing like you get your card faster, which is really cool. I mean, the moments come out a lot faster. But are those worth anything, really? I guess depending on the moment, right?
Like some of they'll do one for like call ups when players get called up from the minors to the majors. Yep. Those tend to do pretty well as sort of like their first card.
Like
I was trying to pull it up. I couldn't find it in a sec, but they had like for the last WBC, that Mike Trout Shohei Ohtani card where he's striking him out to end the game. Yeah. That's one of the biggest Topps Now cards for baseball, at least in recent years. So there are some big ones that come up lately. Like people have been getting in on Topps Now, so some of those print runs are just through the roof. They used to be, if you go back a couple years, they used to be micro print runs. So some of those are a little more difficult to track down and a little more valuable.
Yeah, and I'm sure milestones are pretty huge. Like I think Stanton's approaching his 500 home runs.
I think I got the Cabrera 500 home run one.
That was a big
cool
one.
And
his
3,000th hit for Cabrera, I got the Topps Now for that. And then also just like really cool, like I mean, sticking with the Tigers, I think I got you and I one, Mike, when Cabrera hit that home run in the snow. Remember that? And so like I had the picture of like the home run going through. That was a really fun card.
It's a nice shot.
Probably not collectible wise, but just a cool shot.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, I'm gonna go to my number 2 player now.
Okay.
This list was a lot longer when I put it together.
Yeah.
But I did have Judge on there. I had some of the obvious options. My second player on here is Bobby Witt Jr.
Okay.
Who again isn't like a sneaky pick by any means. But I was surprised when I was going through some of his pricing data to see a lot of his cards, at least in like that low to mid tier, were pretty flat and still very affordable. If you're looking to find some Bobby Witt Jr. cards, they're pretty cheap out there right now. And looking at just like this chart that I have up right here is his cards from when they started releasing. And obviously there's a little bit of spike when he came in, but they've pretty much been low or flat since then. And been, right on the cusp of putting together some MVP caliber seasons. And he looks like he's going to be kind of an all-time great. And I think similar to Shohei, he's kind of got a lot of stuff going for him starting with the WBC. In 2023, we saw like Trey Turner kind of put on a show for the USA. And I think this could potentially be Bobby Witt's year for him to do something similar.
Yeah.
And if he goes off in that tournament, his prices are going to skyrocket.
Yeah, the trajectory is definitely there for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't think, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't anticipate the Royals being a huge competitor this year. Your Tigers running away with that. So I don't think, maybe they sneak into the wild card, but I don't think the Royals are going to go on any deep postseason run. But I think he could still be putting up some MVP caliber numbers throughout the year. And I anticipate him making the All-Star team and having a great start to the season.
Yeah.
Just looking at the last month, his cards are flat.
Yeah.
They're not doing much. So this is, to me, is an opportunity to potentially get some Bobby Witt cards. Even if I'm not going to move him in the next 6 months, he could be an all-time great player that I would be happy to have had his cards at a cheaper price point, now.
For sure.
5 years from now.
One thing I love about him is that he's so durable. I mean, the guy plays 150 to 160 games a year. I mean, you don't see a lot of players do that, especially at his position.
Yeah, he's great. And so he's a player I love to watch. And obviously he's big into cards. So
yeah, he is.
He is big into cards, isn't he? Yeah.
I know.
Hopefully he's buying some of his own cards.
Yeah, I tried reaching out to him. I was like, I'll slide in his DM, see if I can get him to bite, but no luck.
Nothing. No bueno.
Who the hell? What is it?
So he's my second player.
Yeah.
Third player I got in here, Ellie De La Cruz, who
Okay.
I think is a player we've super hyped when he got called up and we were seeing all the highlight plays that were coming out of him seemingly daily. He's a player who has kind of seen his prices fall. I don't necessarily think that's any fault of his own. I think that's maybe just the nature of playing for the Reds, and not really living up to the hype as a team. I think they were kind of hyped to make a postseason run the last couple of years and have come up short. So maybe they'll make a switch and we'll get to see some Ellie in the playoffs. But until then, you can kind of count on him to be delivering just highlight plays week in and week out. And a lot of that is driving his card prices. Every time he makes a ridiculous play or some weird triple that shouldn't be a triple, or throws the ball and guns a guy down from across the field, those sorts of plays drive interest and drive people to go check out his cards until she makes some purchases. I think this is going to be just another year where we continue to see more highlights from him, and I think he's going to take the next step. Fingers crossed they can maybe sneak into the playoffs and make a run, and we can get some playoff Ellie. But he's a player that, looking at the charts, down a little bit from where he was 2 years ago, and relatively down or flat over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah,
so I don't think people giving him the attention he deserves.
I can see why. I mean, the hype was big when he came in, man. It was like really big. And then he hasn't really he's put up solid stats, but he hasn't really taken off with those video game numbers, right? I mean, 2 years in, Bobby Witt Jr. was top 3 for MVP race, right? But Ellie De La Cruz hasn't had that same kind of trajectory yet, even though his projectability is very high. I think a lot of people look at Julio Rodriguez like that too.
Huh. Yeah. Funny you should mention Julio. I got him a little further down on this list.
Not surprised.
All right. So that's Ellie. I don't think he's playing in the WBC, so he wouldn't get any hype there. This is really just like a preseason, spring training to early part of the season play for me. But I would expect he'd probably make the All-Star game if he plays well. All right.
Nando.
Next up.
Yeah.
Nando. And I got his chart pulled up here from 2019 through now, and he had that ridiculous spike there in 2020 with a lot of other cards. He was projected to be like this next all-time great player, and then steroid issues and injuries got in the way, and he's really fallen off as far as his pricing goes. Just over the last 2 weeks, what do you know? Also pretty flat. Same with the last month, even down a little bit. But I'm high on Tatis just because I do think we've seen potentially what his ceiling can be. He has a high floor and he has that MVP caliber play, and he's able to do that. And I think if he puts it all together, it'll just take a little bit of hype and some MVP buzz, and some fantastic play for his prices to start rising again. And I think he has it in there. We've seen it before, and I think he can do it again. I think we're at the point where we're sort of past a lot of like the steroid stuff. Obviously, it's going to be something that's going to bother people for a while. But I think it's kind of worn off compared to where it was 2 years ago.
Yeah, and plus his stats are coming back. I mean, he's starting to play like he did play before, So obviously, the people who do drug testing, I'm sure they're on top of him all the time, which makes he's probably not juicing anymore. So that means the numbers are real, the ability is real.
Yeah, and I'm hopeful Padres can be competitive. We'll see if they can give the Dodgers a little bit of a run. If they do, he's going to be a huge part of it. So,
what's your team? What's your team? Teapot's the Tigers. Do you have your team?
Yeah. I'm an Astros fan, actually.
I love the Astros. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I grew up in Houston and been an Astros fan my whole life. It's been a good last 10 years or so.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Let me ask you, I So on Reddit, I'm pretty active on Reddit for our podcast, and I put out last week. Steve and I put out our then and now. We did the best second baseman back then, right, of the '90s, and the best second baseman right now. I had Altuve as my number one. I think Steve did too. I can't remember. I absolutely got lit up on Reddit for having Altuve number one because I said I think he's more valuable to his team than other second basemen are. That was a big reason why I chose him number one. And I think he still has a lot more left in the tank. Do you agree being an Astros fan, or do you see him kind of declining?
I agree with you that I think he's the best second baseman.
Hell yeah.
Period, by far.
Yeah.
Does he have a lot left in the tank? I hope so.
Yeah.
I think we've start to see a slow decline. I don't think he's going to be putting up the same numbers he was putting up, 4, 5, 6 years ago.
Yeah.
But I still think he's going to be a huge part of the team, and I think he does have a play style where I think he'll be able to play, up until he's 40 years old. Hopefully,
yeah.
I would expect his power numbers to dip a little bit, his average to drop a little bit. He's going to lose some of the speed. But I think he has the tools to still be a very productive player going forward. So hopefully they can continue to build a strong team around him and not put it all on his shoulders. But I think, he's been the best second baseman. And I think he will continue to be maybe for the next year or two.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree.
Who did the Reddit folks think should be tops of the list, Mike? Or were
they hated that Kettle Marte was not number one.
Oh, okay.
And he was number two. I think you had him one in yours.
I did have him one in mine.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it makes a lot of sense, but I don't know. I still think Altuve is quality. I think a lot of people looked at Altuve moving to left field as a shide to him, like, oh, he can't play the position anymore. But they found out he's the best second baseman they had. So he's going to be playing there, I think, full time or damn near full time this year. So, I'm not giving up on Altuve, man. Look at his stats. He was so valuable to his team last year.
Yeah, it's, I go to my dashboard and my cards I'm following are all Altuve cards.
Hell yeah. Absolutely. Those are great.
He's my favorite player. I think he's going to go down as my all-time favorite Astro.
Yes.
Your first mistake was mentioning Astros on Reddit. Your second mistake was mentioning Altuve on Reddit. So
yeah, man. But you know what? Steve and I chose Craig Biggio, the best second baseman of all time in the 90s.
Yep, for the 90s.
Okay. Hell yeah, I agree with that one too.
Yep.
There's a lot. There is. I think now that makes sense. I think the hate was because it's Astros. I think that's what it is. Which I'm a big Astro guy, so I get it, man. I love the Astros. I just think they're quality. Absolutely.
I've been living in the hate for going on 5-6 years now, so I get it.
And man, they were a dynasty. I wish people would just get over it.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to go on to the next card here, or next player, I should say. And you mentioned him earlier, and that's J-Rod.
Yep.
Nice.
As an Astros fan, I am terrified of the Mariners this upcoming season.
Yeah.
They have seemingly put together an even better team this year.
Yes.
And I think that they're going to run away with the division, honestly.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think Julio Rodriguez is going to be a big part of that.
Yep.
Last year was obviously the Cal Raleigh year in Seattle, but Julio's been putting up some great numbers, even though he tends to start the year kind of slow.
Yep.
And I think some of that is why his pricing tends to lag a little bit, is he starts out slow and people want to call him a bust immediately.
Yep.
And then he kind of puts it together. The second half of the year is always better. If they make a deep playoff run, and if somehow we have a Mariners World Series for the first time ever, I would expect he'd be a big part of that. I think if he is a big part of that, he goes down as an all-time great Seattle Mariner already, and he's super young. And I think that there's just a huge opportunity around his cards. He's one of those players who kind of was already labeled a bust compared to where he was in 2022. But he's super young and has a long career ahead of him. And I think he's going to be putting up some great numbers year in, year out. So his cards, I mean, you look at this, since these cards came out in 2022, they're just basically in free fall, some of the higher end stuff.
Yeah.
Again, what do you know? The last 2 weeks. So no one's buying Julio Rodriguez cards right now. And I think that's a mistake. He's a player that I would like to have more of in my collection, and so I would be looking to buy some Julio Rodriguez.
Still super young. I mean, there's so much. I mean, he has a lot. Not even a lot to prove. I think he figured it out. I think the end of last year he figured it out.
Yep.
And I think I agree with you, man. I think people should buy him right now.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna zoom through some of these. The list is gonna get a little more questionable here. I had to throw an Astro in here.
Oh yeah.
Because it's the team I watch and the team that I feel like I know the most about. And I threw Jordan in here. The last 2 years have been pretty rough for him.
Yeah.
A lot of injuries, hasn't been playing as much. Another player who we saw kind of crazy things the first 3 years of his career, really. We've seen spurts of that here and there when he's healthy, but staying on the field has been the big problem. So his prices are down, and understandably so. They're, trending in the wrong direction for a player who's still relatively young. Just over the last month, flat. Last 2 months, flat. So I think this is a case of a player with a lot of upside. We've seen that upside. And if he stays healthy, he's someone who can definitely deliver on that and produce results. And if the Astros are going to go anywhere, he's going to have to be a part of it. We saw how pitiful their offense was last year without him. So I anticipate, fingers crossed, he's healthy, putting up some huge numbers offensively. I don't necessarily think he's going to win an MVP award, but I think he'll at least be in the conversation if he's healthy. So I think that'll remind people of who he is, and they'll jump back in on some of his cards.
Yeah.
For sure.
Definitely.
Next up, getting into some of the prospects. Okay, this is one I should say I would not buy right now.
Okay.
He's on this list just because I wanted to kind of show what happens when you're number one prospect to your card prices.
Yeah.
And Connor Griffin, I think, is going to make his debut if he doesn't make the team outright out of spring training. And when he does, you're going to see his cards reach the peak, and then they're going to fall off.
Makes sense.
So this is someone who we're already starting to see this. This chart is just straight up, basically, from when the card's released in 2024. And even over the last 90 days, last 30 days, it's a little less up. But it's still going up. And these prices are just incredibly high for his first Bowmans here. Maybe he comes out of the gate and he's a difference maker in Pittsburgh and takes them to the playoffs and has a fantastic start to his career. More than likely, he's going to come out, be overhyped, struggle a little bit, maybe still show some promise. But there's going to be a bit of a learning curve, I would expect. And so there might be some initial disappointment or people thinking he's a dud right out of the gate because he didn't hit, 4 home runs in his first game or something.
Yeah. Happens to every top prospect.
Exactly. So this is someone who, if you think Connor Griffin is the next greatest player of all time, these prices are probably low.
Yeah.
But more than likely, he's still going to be a great, productive MLB player, but I don't think you can expect greatness every time. So maybe a cautionary tale. If you have some Connor Griffin cards, maybe it's a good time to start getting those ready to list, to sell, and just see kind of how the spring training goes for him.
Yeah, I mean, he's only 19. I just looked. I thought he was 20. No, he's 19. So
19.
I think you're spot on. I think people are going to be like, what the hell? I bought this card and he's doing this. It's like, man, he's really probably not going to come into his own until he's at least 23, 24. So that's
You can go back to any player really and look at this period in their career where they're it's all hype and the sky's the limit and prices are going crazy. No matter who they are, even if they're Shohei, like that, we showed that chart right at the beginning. There was that hype period of him entering the league, this two-way player, and then he underperforms or gets injured.
Yeah.
And you can go back and buy those same cards for 10% of what they were originally selling for, if you're patient. If you just got to have the card right now, maybe now is the time to buy it. But otherwise, waiting probably wouldn't be a problem.
I think the only 19, 20-year-old I've ever seen succeed in my lifetime has been Juan Soto and Manny Machado at that age. That's a pretty high bar. I mean, for somebody to reach.
Bryce Harper for a bit, coming out the gate or Strasburg before he got injured.
Yeah.
He was kind of, the savior for the Nationals.
No.
But then he kind of petered out.
Yep.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen.
Never.
Yep.
There's not many players that are just up their entire career.
Nope. Not at all.
All right. I got, I think, 2 or 3 more here.
Okay.
Jesus Mate, another player who was really hyped when his cards first released. It's kind of people have just sort of, the hype's kind of died out and people have moved on to other players.
Right.
I do think this is someone potentially worth looking at buying. I think he's in a position to play well and potentially make an impact. And I don't know what's going to happen this season, but just based on the trajectory of his cards and being down or flat, he looks like someone who's going to get a shot at MLB. And when he does, all of these cards are going to jump up as everyone, again, thinks he's going to be the next greatest player of all time.
Yeah.
At that point, that's when you sell and they drop off following that. But I think at this point, I'd be comfortable buying some of his cards.
Yeah.
And then just waiting for that debut.
I'm never in on prospect cards unless they make their debut. I just, I don't like getting that the cards before then. No way.
It's a gamble.
It totally is.
And I know there are people who love the prospect game. They pay attention to the minors. They pay attention to everything. I don't have time for that. I watch Major League Baseball and I try to, read up on how prospects are doing, but a lot of these are kind of names that honestly I haven't been following that closely. I just checked out where they're sitting in some of the top prospect rankings, looking at their card prices. And some of them seem like opportunities.
Especially when they're like 18, 19, like this guy's 18 years old. It's like, all right, man, we'll talk to you in 3 years. Next.
And who knows? Maybe he could get injured or have delays in his development. And you don't see him for 2 or 3 more years. And then at that point, all these cards have cratered and they're worthless because he has no longer that infinite upside.
Very true.
All right. The last 2, Jason Churio.
Ooh, okay.
This is a name play. This is
someone
who his card prices are down or low. He doesn't have a ton of cards. Who, when I was kind of taking a look and creating this list, it looked like he was having a great winter ball this offseason, also super young. But it seems like he's a top prospect in Cleveland. And the Guardians seems like they rotate their prospects through and give them all a pretty good shot. If he can produce and get called up, I think he has an opportunity to make an impact. Obviously, he has a name that people will recognize, associate with another top prospect who has made an impact at MLB. So this seems like an option for someone who wants to take that risk and see how that plays out. But we'll see what happens, but seems like a good opportunity to me.
Isn't it funny? Some of these I always laugh when there's a big star who has a brother, and then they think the brother's going to be just as good. I mean, you've seen it with Ronald Acuna's brother, Luis Angel.
Yeah.
You've seen it all throughout so many years, and it's like mostly what you end up getting is Jeremy Giambi. You know what I mean? Like, that's what you get.
Yeah, you never know though.
You never know. I mean,
the name recognition, like Acuna's brother coming up, that was a big deal just because he was Acuna's brother,
right?
And, the expectations were there, and his cards were up. They're obviously down now.
Yeah.
I think he got traded, right?
He did get traded, yeah.
So he has an opportunity to start over, kind of, but we may not see his cards go back to where they were.
Yeah, yeah.
So another little, play there. And then Bubba Chandler, who obviously has already made his Major League Baseball debut. I kind of like the Pirates.
I do too.
I don't know if that's I've never said that before. I don't think. But I feel like they had a good offseason.
Yeah.
And they have the pieces. This pitching staff is going to be incredible potentially, and he's going to be a part of it. I think his first rookie cards are actually coming out in Series 1. So could get his actual Major League Baseball rookie card starting this week, which is pretty exciting. Otherwise, some of his prospect cards they're up, a little bit over the last year after he made his debut. They dipped a little bit following the debut. But he's a potential to be maybe not a Paul Skeens, but still a very productive, top of the rotation kind of guy.
Yeah.
I think we saw some pitchers last year, like Savage and some of those other guys, when they made their debut, their prices spiked. They started putting some numbers up. Not saying he's going to do that, but if the Pirates can get off to a hot start, I think looking at the attention Paul Skeens is going to get, some of that might rub off on a guy like Bubba Chandler.
I still think that's a prospect.
Sure.
I mean, he came in as a two-way player, and they just made him stick at pitcher, but man, he was such a good hitter coming out.
Agreed.
So that's my list of 10 players that I like, with the exception of Connor Griffin, who I like, but I'm not buying.
Yeah, I'm staying away from Connor Griffin. I'm staying away from there's like a list that came out.
Yeah.
Jesus Mate, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Connor Griffin, man. That's like, it reminds me of the Jason Dominguez hype. Remember that from a couple of years ago?
Oh my God, yeah.
Not only was it, big hype because of the, the what if, but then he was also a Yankee.
Yep.
So that made double the money, it felt like. And he's doing okay.
Yeah.
But he hasn't lived up to that hype that it was Dominguez fever from a couple of years ago.
I call it Sam Darnold syndrome, where they're going to be amazing right out of the gate. But those are the guys you got to give time to. You got to give them 4 or 5 years. Yep. Then they're going to come into their own. Not everybody can just come out of the gate being amazing. It just doesn't work that way all the time.
Everybody just wants to be the first to get whatever it is when cards come out and players are playing well. But
yeah,
patience is definitely a virtue in the card game. And if you can wait a little bit, I mean, even Manny Machado on that list is probably going to go down as a Hall of Famer. You can get his cards significantly cheaper than Connor Griffin right now.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
I'm into that.
Man. Well, actually, I have one more thing. I was going to ask anything else going on here at Market Movers. I saw you guys do a once a month. You do a Ask Us Anything. Cassava meet and greet. You want to tell us a little bit about that? Because that's
sure,
very interesting. Learning about the app and stuff. I know I am, but it's cool that you all have those monthly meets that you can just like pick you guys' brain on stuff.
Yeah, we got two live shows we do every month. The first one being that Ask Me Anything. That's with Teapot. I join when I can, but he's really leading that. And you can get in there and go one-on-one with him. And if you have questions about literally anything, he'll answer it. Card-related, market movers-related, sports-related, anything. He does a really good job of making sure everyone gets their answers to any of their questions. And he's really insightful and knowledgeable about everything related to the hobby. So we do that once a month for all of our members. And then the other one we do is a Market Movers Live. So that's like a live show where we'll do it from the studio here. We'll answer questions. We'll play games. We'll do trivia. This is just for Market Movers members. So it's a small kind of group stream we do. And then we do a lot of giveaways there. So if you're a member, you can join that stream and enter the giveaways for free. And we'll give free cards pretty much to anyone who's in there.
Very cool.
Well, speaking of giveaways, we have something to give away here, don't we? And we've been hyping it up all month here since the mid to end of January. And that's a 2025 Topps Heritage High Number Hobby Box. And I believe we have drawn randomly, and we have a winner for that, don't we?
Ooh,
we do.
Drum roll, right?
We do. Yeah. Mike, can you put like a drum roll thing on there?
A cute drum roll. I'm definitely going to put the person's name up here for sure.
Okay. You want me to announce it, Nick, or would you like to? Or
go for it, Steve.
All right, it's hopefully we pronounced the name right, Jared G, or Gerard G. Hopefully Jared I pronounced it right. I apologize if I didn't. But congratulations, you are the winner of the hobby box, and we'll be in touch here via the email. We have your email, so we'll shoot you an email here and claim the prize. And congratulations!
Congrats, man!
Yeah, congrats.
Yeah, I love a good hobby box, especially Topps Heritage. It's one of my favorite lines from Topps. So
yeah, it's a
congrats to
great
him.
Product. Thanks, Jared, for being a member. Everyone else who became a member and entered, thank you. We appreciate it.
Oh yeah.
We'll do this again in April. We'll have another box to give away. So
cool.
Not sure exactly what it'll be yet. We'll announce that probably next time. But if you sign up for Market Movers using code GONE20, you'll get to try it for free, get started for free, and you'll be automatically entered to win.
Hell yeah. So. Cool. Yeah, it's a great app. I love Market Movers. Just learning it and just seeing the different graphs and just following your collection, just having everything in one place. Just it's a beautiful thing.
Well,
So
I got to admit,
really
it's kind of
appreciate all that you guys do.
It's become a problem with me because it's like you get down a rabbit hole, and then it's like playing a video game, right? You're like, okay, I'm going to try this video game out. You look up and you're like, holy shit, I've been playing it for 3 hours. Like, oh my God. And I'm like that with Market Movers. I'm on it, and it's just like, wow. And then all of a sudden you look up, and you're like, oh, man, I've been sitting here how long?
Oh, man.
It's become a problem.
There goes my Saturday night.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you're going to be using it to make some purchases. You're going to have 20 different packages showing up in your mailbox. And wires saying, what's all this?
What's all these charges?
Yeah. Okay.
Well, Nick, it was great having you on.
Yeah, man.
Look forward to doing this here again next month. And thank you for all you do there at Market Movers. Y'all are great.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. I really enjoyed it.
Cool.
All right, thanks, Nick.
Thanks, Nick.
Always a great hobby huddle segment. I look forward to doing this again next month, as we'll be that much closer to the MLB season, and always good to talk with Teapot and Nicholas to talk cards and see what's trending. Love our friends over there at Market Movers. So
it was cool that we got the Nicholas Green first time on the show. Did really well, and he he's a little different in Teapot, and because he tells you what to buy and not what to buy. He's like, don't buy that shit, buy that shit. So I love it. It's a good mix, man. Absolutely.
I do too. Well, with that, shall we get the candles out and celebrate a birthday?
Let's do it.
You're gonna love this one, Mike. It's a looking online at this guy's cards. Probably one of the ones I really like would be his 1949 Leaf, quote unquote rookie card for him, number 117, and that's none other than Joe Gordon.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's a happy heavenly birthday to Cleveland great. Also played for the Yankees too, and Hall of Famer Joe Gordon, born on February the 18th of 1915. Mike, let me read you these Hall of Fame stats, shall I? All right. 268 average, 253 home runs, 975 runs batted in. Solid offense, right? You think, all right, maybe he got in for his managerial career, right? Nope. 305 wins to 308 losses for a 498 career winning percentage. As a player, played for the New York Yankees and then moved on to the Cleveland Indians. As a manager, he managed the Cleveland Indians, Detroit Tigers, Kansas City Athletics, and the Kansas City Royals. Career highlights: he's a 9-time All-Star, 5-time World Series champion. He did win an MVP in 1942 and part of the Cleveland Guardians Hall of Fame. He was elected to the Hall of Fame, baseball's Hall of Fame, in 2009 via, you guessed it, Mike, Veterans Committee. Mostly because of all the work he did with the Yankees, all right? Yep. He was a Yankee, Mike. He's a Yankee.
Well, and he won the MVP in 42, which, we were in World War II, so a lot of our best players were gone. Yes. Yep. Mm-hmm. But hey, I'll put his 268 average and 253 home runs up against some of the greats of the game, right? Fuck, dude. They were just walking into the Hall of Fame back then.
Yeah, they were. Here's a little trivia here on Joe. He was the first AL second baseman to hit 20 home runs in the season, doing so 7 times, with his peak being 32 in 1948.
Wow.
There you go. Welcome to the Hall. In 2009, Mr. Joe Gordon. Happy birthday, buddy.
Happy birthday, you son of a bitch.
That's a winner.
Yeah. Well, that's a fucking show.
Good show, man. Good show.
Yeah. I mean, anytime the Veterans Committee is brought up, it's like...
You love it, man.
Doesn't take a lucky rebel bet to know that someone's going to be in the Hall of Fame and they're not a very good fucking person. Not a very good statistical person. So
I'm telling you, you let those, if they played for the Yankees though during their prime.
Oh yeah,
they're going to the Hall of Fame. Yeah,
you were on the roster. Yeah, I only played one game. You're in the Hall of Fame.
So what? Fuck it, you're in. All right.
Yeah, you had to Babe Ruth some soap in 27.
Exactly.
Yeah. You're in, bro.
You're in, buddy. All right, cool. Oh, what's that? You held Joe DiMaggio's jockstrap? Put him in.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Holy shit. When the coming weeks, then and now we're coming to the end of then and now. Spring training's underway. We're going to see spring training games. We're going to be talking World Baseball Classic here in the next week or two.
Yeah, that's coming up. Yep.
Got some good interviews coming. I Got a packed house, man. Packed plate coming in. Yeah, full plate.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Should be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. But in the meantime, everybody have a great week, and we will catch you guys all next week.
Deuces.